Hey, we're with John MacRae from GJ MacRae Foundation Repair, run an underpinning project in Toronto. John, can you just tell us what was here when you first got onto the job?
Well, traditionally in the downtown area, everybody is really squeezed for space. Taking off the roof can be upwards of $500,000. The space that is really available and where you can put some equity in is in underpinning your basement. As you can see here, from the top joist down, this was the original floor space that was here. We've installed underpinning sequences all the way around and brought it down to a complete full 8 feet finished basement, which makes it much more usable for the family, the extra space, and of course with the equity that we have in our homes here in Canada, it's tax-free money. This is one of the additions that you can do that you don't get reassessed on your property tax. You're paying tax on it, whether it's 5 feet, whether your husband hits his head on that pipe downstairs every time he goes to do the laundry or not. This is the space that is the most economical and valuable space that you can develop in a downtown property.
John, I'm noticing from where you're standing, from your left over is the old foundation, and to your right is a new block wall. Can you tell me why this is put in?
Well, traditionally in a lot of the older houses in the downtown area, there would be a certain amount that wasn't usable space. They were just called crawl spaces. And traditionally filled up with dirt, and it was more to accommodate an extension on the back of the house. And what we've done here from the original foundation, which is this area over here, which was approximately 5.5 feet in height. We've dug out all of this area here in the crawl space area, put in a traditional footing with 12-inch block, weeping tile on the outside, and we've actually accumulated more footage in the downtown, or in the, sorry, not downtown, but in the down in the basement area for the family. And that'll accommodate the mechanical room, the furnace, sump pumps, showers, the bathrooms. So this extra space that you were paying tax on, which is a crawl space, which was completely useless, now is part of the entire footprint of the house.
John, can you tell me about the access for this sort of project?
Very good question. It is really important that the owner of the home and the contractor are on the same page. Like I said, it's very, very tight quarters in the downtown area. You have conveyor belts coming from a small window like this, where all of this dirt that has been dug out from underneath your original foundation has to go out now. With parking permits for the boxes on the outside, they have to be dropped in the morning and taken away by that evening. You can't take other people's parking spots and get everybody in the neighborhood angry with you. And it really is amazing how much a good crew can do with conveyor belts and 14-yard disposable boxes on the outside. Everything comes in that window, everything goes out that window. I know it doesn't look like a very big spot, but it's a very tried and tested method of doing it. It's not traumatic, there's no big machinery down here, it's very gentle, it's being done by hand, and you can achieve getting it to the level that you want so that you have a nice, completely finished area in your basement, and the neighbors aren't mad at you.
Hey John, can you give us an idea, as opposed to your typical addition for the same amount of square footage, how long does it take to do an underpinning project like this one?
The underpinning process itself is probably 4 to 5 weeks. Then it depends on how quickly you get plumbers in and whether you're going to be putting in radiant flooring. All of those things can take up to 1 to another 3 weeks, depending on the access of the contractor that you're using. If you're organized, they can get here fairly quick. Once you get to a certain step, it's all dug out, the gravel bed is in, the plumber comes in quickly. So I would think probably between 5 and 8 weeks total. And especially in the downtown area, you have to accommodate the neighbors. You can't be piling up all kinds of dirt and construction material there. Quarters are quite close in the downtown area, so it's very, very important that you organize it so that it's not displacing anybody from their daily routine or getting anybody mad. You're going to be moving into the house, or you already live there and you don't want to make bad neighbors out of good neighbors. So yeah, I would think with plumbing and everything, you're probably into 5 to 8 weeks.
John, can you tell me about some of the plumbing aspects and the weeping tile, sewage, that sort of thing that's involved in this type of job?
Sure. As you can see, the dimple board, it has dimples on the back of the board. And this board runs from wherever grade is on the outside right down to the weeping tile. So there is a 4-inch weeping tile that runs around the entire perimeter of this basement. And it's tied into a sump box back in the back of the basement. Quite often what will happen is that when you dig your basement out to the desired depth that you're looking for, the main sewage line won't be deep enough. So everything from upstairs can go into that as a gravity feed. Everything in the downstairs area, which would be your bathroom, kitchenette, toilets, they would all run into a sewage injector. And the Armstrong, they make a very, very dependable injector that works for 10, 15, 20 years without any problems, and that would pump all the sewage from the basement floor up into the main line going out.
As you can see, we're pulling in concrete this morning, which has to be done very carefully so that we don't puncture any of the heating tubes that are going to be in the floor. We've laid down plywood, and if it's done skillfully, there should be no problem. The manifold is under pressure. We watch that manifold. If there is a leak, we put a box around it so that it can be repaired at another date, but we can continue on with the floor.